Brightest blessings, y'all. Okay, I know a lot of people have been looking for this video because they've been asking me, when are you going to do a follow-up video to this thing of what do you think? And I've been making you suffer long enough, so here goes. Um, I recently asked if people knew what I did for a living and why they think that I do it for a living, and what can you see me do for a living? What would you guess I'd be good at? The reason for this is because I have been out of work for a year now. Now, basically, I am pretty much a jack of all trades and have done a lot of different things in my life. I do not have a college education simply because during the time when I was going to college, I was kicked out of the house and was forced to work full time as well as find a place to live and find other ways to get money because I lived in California at the time and it is not cheap out there. A high school graduate working full time does not necessarily mean that you can find a place to live and afford it. So I had to have time for a full-time job and do other things on the side to afford an apartment in California. Now, I never went back to college, and the reason why is I never really knew what I wanted to go back to college for. I mean, I just considered it a waste of time for me and the school if I didn't know what I wanted to do. In fact, I'll read off everything that people have mentioned. Someone asked if I was a painter because of the painting back there. No, sorry, I got that at a starving artist sale. There's also another one. Let me see if I can get the camera on that one. There we go, right there. That's the other one that I bought there. No, I did not paint those. I'm not that good. I did, however, paint this room and the house that I'm in because I'm just too fucking cheap to hire a painter. um, but no, I'm not a painter. Another one said life coach. Well, that was interesting. Another one said speaker. Actually, two people said a speaker of some type. Three people said teacher or school counselor. One person said customer service or bookkeeper. I'd say two or three people said I should be on the radio, and if I'm not, that I should be. And not just the radio show that I do now. We're talking live radio that you can get in the car and everything. One person said suicide hotline. I did a hotline. It was actually had some suicide stuff in there. I used to work for, well, I didn't work for anything. I volunteered at the switchboard for a gay and lesbian community center, and from there you got anything from suicide calls to, hey, where's the next happening bar around here? Another person said librarian. Of course, we had like three people say that was in management of some type. Four people said I was in healthcare or some kind of healthcare provider. I had at least three people say that I should take care of kids or did take care of kids. One was like younger, and another one, actually in a video response that I got, said that I would be really good working with older kids, like from preteen up to 21, regarding helping them out in life. And I think that's pretty cool. I actually used to work with kids, and kids are not my favorite. I don't really like the younger kids too much. However, I do have a very good hand with children, and they tend to flock to me. Kids and animals really flock to me, and I don't know why. The point is, I like animals a lot more than I like kids, but yeah, I wouldn't have any kids personally. I work very well with the older kids, the preteens to 21, though. I think they're pretty cool to hang out with. Let's see here. Somebody said something in animal protection, like a vet, which is very interesting because I've always wanted to. I've always said that if I dropped the weight, I'd probably want to become, like those animal cops that you see on Animal Planet. Two people said some type of office work. Three people said something in dispatching, also in security. Well, I will actually take the last two things that I've done in my life as current what I'm doing. Actually, two people got that right on the nose. Blue Fire Witch got it right on the nose. I actually have been working in customer service since I moved to Arizona back in 2001, and I'm actually pretty damn good at it. Um, and actually, before I moved out to Arizona, I was actually in security. Yes, I was a rent-a-cop. However, they placed me in areas where you needed to be a little bit more than just a body. I used to work in the court systems. I used to work in the areas where you actually had to think on your feet. Um, and I spent about 4 years doing that. The reason why I was doing all this stuff is simply because I've been out of work for about a year right now, and I'm looking for stuff in customer service at this point in time simply because I'm really good at it. However, um, I've been out of work for a year, and obviously it ain't working, folks. So I'm going to have to think out of the box and once again leave my field of trade. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. I have a lot of different things that I have to accommodate. I have some physical limitations. I seriously screwed up my knee. And even though, yes, I can exercise and lose the weight, I have to be very careful with that. And in security, if I go back into security, there is one thing you always have to do, and that's climb stairs. And that would take me forever, and I'd be in pain and probably fuck up my knee for good. I don't have any health insurance, so it's not like I can go through any physical therapy without it costing me out my ass. Um, I am severely dyslexic. I don't know if anybody knows this. It doesn't really show because I've had training ever since I was in the third grade, and I work with it quite well. Unfortunately, the way because everybody and their brother is looking for a job right now, they make you test out for customer service. So those people that are calling me back for customer service because they like the way that I sound over the phone and deal with people, they make me come in and test. And for some reason, even though I can do the job really well, for some reason I fall just short of passing the test each and every single time, and it does have to do with my learning disability, and it is fucking frustrating. So, obviously I'm going to have to start looking outside the box. So basically that's what I was trying to do, is I was trying to see how well my subscribers knew me, and maybe if they could get if I could get a fresh perspective. No, I was not asking people to tell me what I should be doing. I'm not one of those people that allow that. But yes, this did help me quite a bit. So this is the follow-up, and thank you very much. Blessed be.